Hello there again, my friends. My name is Betsy, and today I want to do another drawing in my book here. And what I actually want to do today is I want to challenge myself to just keep my time down to a minimum, because I know that sometimes I spend hours on these drawings, and that's fine. I think it's fine at least. But I feel like there are times when I want to draw and then I just don't do it because I feel like, oh, this drawing is going to take me hours or days or weeks. Sometimes I do have some projects that just take so long. And so that feeling kind of keeps me from drawing. So what I want to do today is just kind of think, okay, what can I make that's going to be fun and that's a little bit quicker? So that's what I'm going to do today. I will be using this Sharpie because the lines that I'll create with this are wider than my usual pens. Some of you know I'll use like these fine liners or some of these other pens, which are around a 0.5, anywhere between a 0.3 and a 0.5 millimeter width on the tip. But these markers are bigger, so I'm hoping that that will help me create more. However, right here, this paper, I think the ink might bleed a little bit through. This is a type of cardstock, so what I'm going to do is grab some spare paper. And I'm hoping that putting this behind here will help protect any kind of bleeding. It's not that bad usually for me, but I know that it will happen a little bit. And I'm not worried about the back. If I want to create on the back, I'll just kind of paint it, probably with black, and then create something on there, some kind of painting. Okay, so if you are wondering about the size of the paper here, it's about 7 inches by 8.5 inches. So it's not super small, but it's also not the biggest. So let's see, I'm going to start making some shapes, and I really do love some kind of spiraling shapes, so I think I'm going to start with that. It's really my favorite. If you know me, you know me. This is kind of what I do. I love spirals. I think they can just really get a lot of things going here for me. So I'm going to start just with this big spiral. I think that's a good start for me. And then I think that looks kind of cute. I think I want to create some more spirals. So what I'm going to do is just continue it right here. And let's see what happens. Maybe bring another one this way. That's not bad. Now should I close it here? Yeah, I think so. So I'll make this line here. And that's what's so nice about drawing with Sharpies is the ink just flows, especially if it's new. This one's new. So I made another spiral. I think I want to add another one. I think it might be fun bringing another one here. Let's do that. Maybe close it off here. That's nice. Okay. Oh, I like that. I think there will be many spirals. I will make one this way though. Maybe you'll notice I do a lot of this kind of fake fake drawing here because I'm kind of trying to get a feeling for how the next one will happen. I think I might make a small one right here. And really for me, the point of this is to not be afraid and not think about it too much. I'm trying to enjoy what's happening. Is this spiral the prettiest? It really isn't, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Nothing's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And sometimes it's all those little wonky pieces, those strange little weird pieces that you actually might end up loving a lot. I know that's happened for me a lot. So I think this is going to be a lot about spirals today. I thought there was going to be more going on, but I think spirals are going to be it. So let's see here. Of course, something I love to do with these shapes is add these sort of contour lines. So I'm going to do that to them in different ways. So if we go into this one, let's get a little closer. There we go. What I like to do is kind of make these little bellies, is what I call them. So they're curved. I won't do this to all of them, I think. It's nice to have a little variation. So as you can see, I'm just kind of adding these curves, these curved lines. And it's really just giving these some shape. They're not flat anymore. They're just not flat. Okay, so I'm just going to continue. And if you're doing this, of course, if you've never done this before or anything like this before, maybe you're just getting into doing a little doodle, or you're kind of learning to do Zentangles, take your time. You don't need to rush. Me trying to sort of do this quickly is just my own personal challenge. I'm just trying to see, what can I make in maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes? I guess we'll find out soon enough, right? 20 or 30 minutes maybe, we'll see. But for you, take your time. You don't need to rush. I know that when I was first drawing, I most certainly had a lot of fun, and I was fine doing this for hours. It's just there are some days and some weeks like I've had lately where I don't really have that much time. I don't have that much time. I've been very, very busy, and it really does help to to be able to do something that I like, but kind of do it quickly and really get the experience there, you know? Get the experience. Because although I would love to be a full-time artist, I'm currently not a full-time artist, and I got a lot of other things to do, you know? Most of us have a life. Life is busy. And we make art because we like it, because it's fun, because we just want to take a little break. And I feel like, at least for me, for sure, I don't always have a ton of time for breaks. Sometimes I only have half an hour, and I just need to use it. Maybe have a cup of tea. So you can see here, I'm kind of just working along this shape, just like the first one, just adding those contours. Definitely using these markers, these Sharpie markers, has been, these are old friends. Okie doke. So I'm just going to keep going here all the way around. Okay, so there we're done. So that's 2 of them that are done right now. And I do have others, and I can do other things to those shapes as well. We don't have to draw the exact same thing, although if you want to, of course, go ahead. You can go ahead and do this to all of them. Something else that I've done in the past, which might be fun, let me see if I can... Sometimes these need to be kind of chubby. There needs to be quite a bit of space in here for me to be able to do this. So I'll think about that, and in the meantime, let's add some other shapes around here. And so something I'd like to add, if you do Zentangle, you already know an easy thing to fill in a space is with little circles like this. So like this. I love doing that. It's nice and easy. I can do little ones or big ones, just kind of whatever fills the space. Just makes it look interesting. Okay, some circles, there we go. And then something I like to add that's really fun and satisfying is I'll find these little spaces that were created like this, these little crevices in a way. And what I'll do is I'll start a line like that. And then I'll just kind of add more lines next to it like this, from one point to the next. Create these shapes like that. Like that. I'll mimic it on the other side. Just like that. And so you got these interesting little shapes there. And then I can just keep adding more. So right here, how about I add another one? And you can add as few or as many lines as you like. It's up to you what space you've got there. And then here it's a little small, so how about I add these little tendrils, these little wavy pieces. It looks like they're just kind of growing there, and you can make them overlap like this and kind of make them look like one's on top of the other. Yeah, like that. Little wavy pieces, like little tentacles. And how about we add a few more right here? Let's do that. There's one like that. Maybe this one's going to be behind that one like that. That's cute. I always like to add these little circles that are just floating. Let's go back up here. We can add another floater here and there. I love that. They're like little bubbles. All right, so we've got that. How about we add some more of those right here? So right here, like that. I'll add some lines with it. And again, you can fill it in as much or as little as you like. Some of us like to fill the space all the way. On this very edge one, I'm going to make it a little thicker. It helps really make it obvious that's the edge of that shape. Like that. See? There we go. Now, I don't want to add anything in here just because I'm just going to add 2 circles. Good enough. Okie doke. So I'm going to continue adding some more of those over here. Let's do that. But what I'd like to do before I add those, I'll show you how I like to do these big, big leaves. So let me move right here so it's a little easier to see. So to make these big leaves, I find a spot again. So I think about in here in this little crevice. Look how big of a line I'm making. And at the end, there's this little curve like a hook, and then it closes up. And so what I'm going to do is I'll start at the top, make this curve like that, put another one on top. And what I'm trying to get them to do is to get kind of wide and chubby. Eventually, as I keep working my way around, they'll almost become S-shaped. So see, here's like this, and then like that. Notice they're getting more and more shaped like an S, like the letter S. And it's not going to be perfect. It's just kind of a visual for you to think about as you're working your way around. Notice it's getting really wide. Really, really wide. We're getting in there. Just kind of traveling along. Just like that. And I'm essentially going to keep going until I get all the way in there. I'm going to fill up that space. Right there. I got this little crevice here left, and I'm just kind of gonna fill that in. And now what I'm going to do, you can see this is just 1/2 of the leaf. I will do the other half, and I'm going to mirror it. So this is just kind of backwards. This leaf shape can be a little tough for some people. I know some people who've been trying to learn this, they say, oh, it's kind of hard for them. Maybe it'll be hard for you, maybe it won't. So just keep that in mind. Some of these shapes can be challenging. Or maybe it'll be nice and easy for you and no problem, right? No problem. Everybody's different. So just keep that in mind. The whole point is just to have fun. If something's frustrating for you, try something else. Or just work at it until you get it. You'll get there. So here I'm just kind of going into this last little space right here. And I think I'll do one more, and then I'll fill the rest in with some black. Let's check in on it really quick right now to see how the back is looking. I just want to see. Oh, not bad. That's not too much. I thought it'd be a little more. Usually when the markers are very new like this, a lot of ink comes out and I get a lot. I just got a little bit of ghosting. I think it's because I'm drawing relatively quickly. Okay. So what I'd like to do, I want this spiral to be different than the others, just this initial one. So something that I'd like to do is, rather than making these contour lines that I did here, I want to make a row of circles. So I'm going to try to do it just for you, and let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. Let's get a little bit closer so we can see what's going on here. And so I know that the spiral is this one right here. So I'm going to start with a circle. And then I'm just going to keep making more circles as I go through. I'll kind of go along. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get those circles to grow with the space. So if the space gets wider, then so will the circles. That's what I'm thinking. So see, it's kind of moving along. Right here, they're getting a little smaller because it's getting a bit thinner. So the circles are changing to suit the space. And so if you're playing with your shapes here, if you're kind of figuring out what kind of designs you want in there, just know sometimes you may not like what you draw. Sometimes you may love it. And I think that that in a way is a big part of exploring through art, is that you will learn to accept things that you may think, oh, this is a mistake. Well, maybe it is. Maybe something's a mistake. Maybe you drew something you didn't like, but that's okay. It's okay to make these mistakes. It's okay to draw something you don't like. It's okay to keep working on it. It's perfectly fine. If you're just doing this for fun, then just do it for fun. If you're trying to learn to make better art, then, you know, same thing. I feel like no matter the reason for each of us, we have to make mistakes. Mistakes are so important. So there we go. We reached the end. I think I'll let that last little circle touch the end there. There we go. All right, so that one is a little different. Now we've got one that's got these circles. If I have time, I'll add a few more designs there. But for now, let's keep moving on. I think that I'd like to move on and add some more contours to this next one, but I'm going to do them just a little differently. So here's the first one, and what I'm going to do differently is essentially these lines are going to be thicker. So it's almost like this guy's going to be striped. Very, very striped. When I was younger, I loved stripes. I used to have a lot of stuff with these kind of gray and black stripes. It was a bit gothic in a way, wearing a lot of black. And then a lot of things that were gray and black striped like this. Just loved it. I don't think I have anything that looks like that these days. For some reason, I wear more pink and purple these days. That's how it goes. So I feel like this one is going to take a little longer than the other one, but that's fine. Oh, that looks very nice. I like that. I suppose something you could do is still make the stripes the same as you did them here. Same as the one before, so just a bunch of individual lines, and then maybe color in between them to create the striping. That's another way. I'm really liking doing it this way right now. So I kind of build it as I go. One thing I know is that from other people who have done this with me, other people's drawings that I've seen, when they do these lines, these sort of curved lines, they create something that looks kind of like this. And so I'm gonna do this just to help you out in case you're frustrated. This line is curved and it looks like that, and this looks a little flatter. So what I'm gonna show you is that compared to this, the way I do mine, which makes it look extra chubby, is that it's kind of like a big fat belly, like a big pregnant belly, and right here it kind of hugs the edge. So imagine it's like the letter D instead of this, which is just a slight curve. So I'm just going to draw over this with the marker so you see what I mean. So see, it hugs like that, like the letter D. Looks nice and chubby, gives it lots of shape, nice contours like that. And if you draw it the other way, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Maybe you'll learn to like it that way. Maybe you'll change it. No worries. No worries. No need to worry. I just know I really, really wanted to draw today. I didn't know what I wanted to draw, so that's what this is for me today. Sometimes I just want to enjoy just the feeling of the pen, just how it feels to watch that ink kind of soak into the paper. It's therapy, you know? It's therapy. That's what this is right now. When I got the idea to do this, when I was here kind of trying to organize my things on my desk. My desk is always a mess, of course. Oh, always a mess. Because of course, always a mess. And I found this marker and I just thought, oh, I have to. This is what I'm going to use today. I think that's probably why. That's probably why cleaning my desk. I think even though I don't like to do it, I'll be honest, I don't like to do it. I don't terribly enjoy kind of cleaning up my area here, but I do it because I know that as I'm kind of digging around all of my things, I'll find something that will inspire me. I'll think, oh wow, look at that drawing that I didn't finish 2 months ago. And then I'll pick it up and I'll start working on it. So it does kind of have its purposes, you know? It's got its reasons. It's a reason for everything. So I'm going to take a break from this and I'll add some shapes over here. Some more of these. I do highly recommend that if you're working on a drawing and you get a little sick of the piece you're working on, just move somewhere else and kind of play around over there. And then you can go back. I do that quite often and it works for me very much. Let's do some little floaters here. They're always cute. Yeah, I do it way too much actually. When I kind of take a break from my drawings, I realize like, oh, why was I in the middle of that? I probably got tired of doing the same thing. I think what I want to do here is I'll show you a different kind of spiral that I like to do. So it's kind of this long one and it gets kind of small like this. And it just has this long, skinny little thing like that. I love doing that. It's very similar to these little tendrils that are over here. Very similar. And so what I can do here is I can add little shapes. Like let's say I just want to add these sort of long leaves like this. I can add those in there. Like that. So it's almost like a big teardrop with a line in there. Just like that. You can add little clusters to it. Little leaves, just makes it look like it's growing like that. If you want to, you can add some to the other side real quick, like that. Maybe over here on the end, some that are a little smaller maybe, because maybe they're like fresh leaves kind of growing out from the end like that. And then some floating circles because I love doing that. I love the little floating circles. Maybe another leaf right here. There we go. So that's always kind of cute. All right, I will go back to this right here. So far, I think we're doing okay on time. We haven't spent too much. Not too much. Might take a little longer than expected. I'll be okay with it. I think kind of that's how it starts, is as long as you can just get yourself to start. If you can commit 15 minutes maybe, then you'll be surprised. You'll find that you actually ended up drawing for 45. It happens a lot to me. Happens way too often. But again, I think that personally, if I feel like maybe what I'm drawing is just nice and quick, even if I do spend a little more, just a few minutes more, it's okay. I enjoyed it. Or maybe if you decide you want to do something like this on your lunch break. You don't want to take on a huge drawing maybe. Just want to have fun. Okay. I like this one. I like it. I like it with the striped lines. I like it a lot. I should do it more often, I think. Yes, yes. Okay. So I'm thinking that this other little one that's right here, I'll just do these regular contour lines that I did on the others. So let's just do that real quick here. So here's curved. This one's going to be a little quicker. So they're just normal lines. Nice chubby lines. Like that. Not bad. And you can do this with any shape. If you just draw a circle, you can put contour lines on it. Draw a blob, you can put contour lines. It's always nice and fun. Just to see what happens. And you draw these kind of curves on shapes. Okay, so we're almost done with this one, so that's pretty good. There we go. All done with that one. And then I think I'm finally going to go back in here and finish this one. Let's turn it around for a sec. It's strange. If I turn it around, the curves feel different. There we go. And this is such a good way to practice your fine motor skills. Sometimes I really do feel like my hands are just not steady, and if I sit down like this and just do some drawing like this, then slowly my hands get steadier. It's like I have to force it. Like I have to force my hand to just calm down, settle down, and I can draw. One line at a time. That's how we achieve it. Okay. I'm looking at this shape, and it's quite a bit of a spiral, isn't it? Look at how it just keeps going. That's fine. It'll just take a few more minutes. You can tell me in the comments if you like, but for me right now, it's finally raining. It actually has been raining for a couple of days. I do live in California, and you know how it is in some of these areas that we get droughts. But there is rain, and we were warned that maybe there could be some flash flooding in a few places because it's going to rain all day today. And it is. It's just been raining. And the little birds outside have been hiding from the rain under the eaves. So I can hear them right next to my window right now. It's raining, and then I hear little birds next to my window. It's so cute. It's really nice. It's such a nice sound. The rain and the birds. It's nice to just be able to pause for a while and just listen to that. No noises, no distractions. I do hear a little bit of the traffic out on the street too. I do live on a busy street, and I have to deal with that, but that's fine. When it's raining, it actually kind of sounds okay. Kind of sounds nice sometimes. Just the sound of tires on water. Sounds a little bit like the ocean to me. It's not too bad. Gotta take a win where I can, you know? There we go. Let's turn this around again so we can finish this up. It looks nice. I like it. I like the stripes. That's nice. Looks like there's a lot of stripes in this drawing, right? But what I'm hoping is that if you're drawing along, you're making your own drawing, then you can go grab your watercolors. You can go grab some watercolor pencils or just some regular colored pencils. And then you can get in there and add some color, some shading, just have some fun with it. Have lots and lots of fun with it. It all starts with just a little bit of line art, a little bit of doodles. There's some Zentangles, that's always fun. So there we go. Like this. This spot's a little bit bigger, so this will be interesting. I think we've been working on this about half an hour now, I think. Not bad. It's a lot in half an hour, huh? You'll notice it's just certain spots take a while. If you decide to do something a little complicated, that's what'll take some time. But there's quite a bit of drawing you can do that won't take too long, surprisingly. Sometimes it's the shading and the coloring that takes a long time. That's the fun stuff. Okay, so I'm going to close it off right here. I think this is good. Here we go. Last one. So there's that. And now what I'd like to do, I'll show you what it looks like right now. That's what it looks like currently. And I'm just going to add a few more shapes in a few places just to kind of fill it in a little bit more. I think that's what I'd like to do. Like this. Some circles always fill in pretty nicely. Maybe some of these small leaf shapes here. And if there are lines that I feel need to be darker, I can just kind of go over them real quick like that. How about right here? I'd like to add one of these guys. There we go. And I think I can add another one over here. So that's the nice thing about having just these kind of simple shapes that you can just repeat. So here we go. Here's another one and another one. So there's that part. Do the other side. It's a little bit hard to work on the edge like this since I'm on the edge of the book here and it is pretty chubby. I'll show you. You might be able to see it. It's a pretty chubby book. So my hand's kind of floating there. So I'm trying to go a little slower so I don't get terrible, terrible lines. There we go. I think this should be good. I'll add a few of these smaller leaves. Just cluster them. It's nice making them different lengths too, like this. So short ones, long ones, little ones, all of that. Like that. I'll add one right here and a circle. There we go, not bad. And I just have a tiny bit of space over here, which I can quickly add. I think I'd like to add some of those little tentacles, little tendrils, like this. I always like to make them kind of like a question mark. It's like a little question mark, like that. So just kind of keep an eye on how you're doing it so that you can overlap them like this. There we go, pretty quick. Maybe I'll make one here. Just one. I think it'll be fine. A couple of circles. That's pretty good, not bad. And over here, there are times when it actually looks kind of nice to leave some space there. If I fill in the whole thing, it won't quite look the way that I want it to. I do feel that maybe I should put something here though. What could I put there? I think what I'll try doing is I'll have some things kind of growing in this direction real quick, and I think that'll be it. I think that's it. You can work pretty quickly if you use the right kind of pens. Or markers, I suppose. Depends on what you've got. Sometimes you're using a pen, sometimes you're using a marker. So here's another one. There, and then I'll do the other side. And yes, if you're doing this for the first time, if you're a beginner, maybe you're healing through an injury, this is going to take you a little longer. So don't fuss over it. Let it take however long it takes. You don't need to rush. I just have the ability to go quickly right now. There we go. So I think that's okay. I think it's going to be interesting coloring this one right here that has the different circles inside of it. That's going to be interesting. But I think the rest, what I'd like to do is maybe tomorrow I'll work on coloring this, and maybe I'll ask some of you to join me and we can color this together, maybe during a quick live stream. That would be fun. Just kind of add some color. Maybe I can grab some watercolors or something like that. That'll be fun. So there we go. That's the drawing, I think. See how quickly it worked up? Once you kind of start getting ideas, you don't always have to make new designs. You're just kind of using your repertoire of these designs and you're just repeating. Repeat, repeat, repeat. All of these are very familiar to me. I use them all the time. really it's just fun kind of arranging them in a different way. Here's how it looks like on the back. You did get some ghosting, but no transferring, so that's fun. So just as a quick bonus for those of you who are still sticking around, I have decided to turn this into a coloring page, and I'm going to be putting it up for free on my website, and the link to that site is in the description of the video, so go ahead and follow that link and you can grab this for free. Again, thank you so much. Bye-bye.